Gemini, I'm sorry for being a few days late. It's been crazy on my end, but I'm going to get into your reading now. I'm going to do a little bit more shuffling. While I was shuffling your cards, I shuffled a long time. And one of the things that came through to me, and this is going to be very specific for somebody or maybe somebody later or somebody that you're dealing with, but it was travel to what I kept feeling was Japan. Something about like a very remote like place in Japan, something like that. I know that's not for everybody. I know Japan is a very expensive trip to have and not everybody is interested in Japan. But that energy was there for somebody. I don't know. It was just like somebody enjoying themselves in some sort of like, I don't know, very remote ocean. So aside from that, which may not be relevant to anybody here, let's go ahead and get into the reading. Gemini. And it could just mean foreign travel as well for some of you. Gemini. Okay, I'm going to do a Celtic cross. Okay, first card out, we have the Fool, Gemini. So the Fool in reverse, it is reckless behavior. It is throwing caution to the wind and doing what you want. It's going into new situations, either that are ill-advised or just not really caring. It's being premature. It's being foolish. What is in opposition to that? Seven of Wands, so conflict, communication disputes, fighting, anxiety, not being able to get onto, not feeling like you're on the same ground with people, and it's constant, problems. What's beneath everything? Seven of Cups, so decisions, confusion in decisions, sometimes having too many choices, Recent past, we have the Page of Pentacles here. Current energy. King of Swords in reverse. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So, could be you, Gemini. Future. Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that's always good, for sure. Your current state, emotional, mental, Three of Wands. What's coming toward you? Two of Wands in reverse. Hopes, fears, worries, concerns. Four of Cups. And the outcome. Two of Cups in reverse. So, okay, with the Empress at the bottom of the deck. So as far as the energies here are concerned, like with the people involved, you have the King of Swords, the Fool, and the Empress. And the Fool and the Empress can also be very much about energies, and the Page of Pentacles. But King of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, the Temptress, the Empress, Taurus. So what I'm feeling here is, aside from wonderful trips to Japan, let's put that on the back burner now. What I'm feeling here is an energy where we are dealing with constant levels of conflict. It feels like somebody is not really wanting to go any further in a situation. It feels like somebody is weighing up their options. You may have been giving to somebody in the past and it really proved that there was not much growth. And the communication between you and this person now may have stagnated to the point where it's very cold, it's very disconnected, it can be in essence manipulative, very calculated in certain ways, sometimes just completely devoid of emotion. The Seven of Swords here is interesting in reverse as the future energy. It's like either somebody is being seen for the bullshit that they have done and they're releasing it, they're letting it go, or you're just not even wanting to care about it. You let it go. It's like, I don't care. I'm done. The Three of Wands here in the emotional aspect, or what you may be thinking, is really looking at what you want. It's being patient in regard towards what you want. And that does take patience, especially if you're dealing with a situation where it's high anxiety, it's miscommunication, fighting, feeling like you've been giving to somebody who is immature constantly. They may look like an adult, but they act like a little kid, 12-year-old. Now, Gemini, it's time to take control for you. It's time to take over for you, because this whole situation essentially is calling for you to step into a fair level of abundance. And I don't mean abundance like, oh yeah, go pay attention to your money. I'm talking about like emotional abundance, self-worth, self-value, care, self-care, self-work, self-worth, what the fuck is that called? Self-care. Self-care. So yeah, because you're worth it, and this feels honestly exhausting. This doesn't feel like it's a happy thing. It feels like, I don't know, I kind of get the feeling like annoyed that you've like given and given and given to somebody that I guess isn't appreciative, lacks that type of appreciation. I don't know. They feel scuzzy. Yeah, the Two of Wands here, as far as what's coming toward you, this is letting go. This is either choosing a path and going on it, or giving up on things entirely. Upright, this card talks about which direction do I go in? The world is my oyster. It's like, do I want this man or do I want the world? Let's go to Japan. Let's, I'm going to Japan. I'm not yet, but I will be someday. But this can talk about, okay, I've decided to either make the decision is made and it feels like it's being done with somebody. Here you have the Four of Cups. He's pouring out the cup of love. He's pouring out that energy. It's not a card of taking or making any type of anything with anybody. It's like, no, I don't want to. And that even is indicated more here with the Two of Cups in reverse. It's a breakdown of connection between people. It's letting things go. You may love somebody, but it's also recognizing how much more you love yourself, So let's go ahead and clarify this. For Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So for the Fool in reverse, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So the Six of Cups in reverse with the Fool in reverse, this is basically letting go of a situation that you may have been dealing with somebody who feels like they were very rooted in your life at one point. They could have been a long-standing relationship. They could have felt like a definite soulmate type energy, some sort of connection that is undeniable, especially with this Two of Cups both in reverse. The Six of Cups and the Two of Cups both in reverse. Add 6, 2 together, you get 8 of Cups, walking away, letting go. Maintaining a situation with the Fool in reverse. To do that would be asinine. To maintain something like this would not be healthy. I do want to say, though, whether there have been a fair amount of love or whatever, try not to romanticize the situation. Try not to long for it too much. Allow that breakdown to happen and be okay for that. For the Seven of Wands, you have the Seven of Wands upright, you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this is essentially the conflict. One of the biggest issues here is being in conflict with somebody, constantly having anxiety, frustration, fighting. And it tears apart your relationship, essentially. The Ten of Pentacles talks about, did I say cups? It's Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles talks about long-standing family connections. It talks about people that are in our lives for 5 to 10 years. It's a longer-standing relationship. This can also talk about a breakdown of financial abundance, a breakdown of energy between people that have been together for a while. But maintaining it is essentially a level of conflict. It doesn't bring any further stability. It's something that you actually would like to dissolve, and that may be the conflict and issue between you and somebody. Whether to stay, whether to go, whether to continue here, because underneath you have the Seven of Cups. So this is a lot of emotional confusion in regard to which direction to go in, but it's also having options. It's looking at other options. I'm not saying like looking at a bunch of people or like looking at like one person. You may have somebody in mind, but this is more like which direction I want to go and what do I want to put my energy in? What do I want? What about me? So for that Seven of Cups, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So in regard to this, be careful about lying to yourself, and be careful about not giving yourself what you need. Also, some of you may be holding off on communicating to somebody else your decisions, just because that's your own personal business and they may not need to know that. Okay. That sounds a little cutthroat, maybe, I don't know, but some boundaries and privacy are actually very important. And I think that may be playing out here. So be careful about what you share with somebody. Be careful about what you give, just because that should be yours. That should be yours, The Page of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This is a dissolve of a relationship. This is no longer being emotionally satisfied in a situation, giving to somebody who you feel doesn't really care, giving to somebody who you feel is emotionally inept, and somebody who does not play well with you. It's not nurturing for you. It doesn't provide you stability. And it's like, why am I giving to this? What am I doing? Why did I do this? King of Swords in reverse, you have the Six of Pentacles popping out. So the King of Swords in reverse, this is either this is bringing balance to a situation, and cutting somebody out entirely, or it's somebody who may have been dealing with other people. You do have the Three of Wands, you do have the Six of Pentacles here. You have the Seven of Swords that is in reverse in the future position, but it may be a situation where somebody was giving to something. If you're also dealing, I do want to mention this too, with the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Swords in reverse. This may be also somebody who is dealing with a lot of other options and decisions as far as people goes, and they were not telling you. And that's kind of the root of the whole problem for some of you. That's not for everybody, but that's for some people. Okay, show me the Seven of Swords in reverse. You have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this is imbalance, not being balanced. It's out of whack. It's too many things. It's also finally deciding what I want to go towards. Often the Two of Pentacles talks about having two options, two decisions to make, whether they between finances, money, direction in life, what balances you out emotionally, what you want to do. Sometimes it's as simple as, what soda do I want to drink tonight? Diet or regular? Like, it can have so many things, but here I feel like there's a significant change, especially here with this Seven of Swords here and the Two of Pentacles. It's almost as if we are letting this go. That's enough for us to realize that this doesn't bring stability. Maintaining it causes even more out of balance energy. And this is the deciding factor. So I've decided an energy that I've decided to let go of a situation that doesn't make sense for me. Okay, so moving into the space that you are feeling, emoting, where you're at in your mind, we have the Three of Wands. So patience in regard to the direction that you want to go in, patience towards the things that you want to implement into your life. It's interesting because you do have the Two of Wands here in reverse right above this. So what's coming for you, whether that be you've already put this into motion and you may have put it into motion a while ago, the direction that you're going in now, you may have kept this quiet and under wraps. And so now it's kind of like maybe a surprise for somebody. But I feel that there has been communication. It's just been frustrated and angry. But Gemini, it feels like things are being let go. You're dropping stuff so you can actually have that new beginning. That's what it feels like. I'm going to read those two cards together and just move on to the energy of the hopes, fears, concerns, worries. Because it feels like what you've already decided upon is to let go of something so you can actually get what you want. Okay. The the Four of Cups for the hopes, worries, concerns area. This is not wanting to move forward with somebody, not wanting to continue. I'm reading the cards again. I'm going to pull. My goodness. Let me clarify the Three of Wands. I'm sorry. Good lordy. So for the Three of Wands, you have the Eight of, So 8 of Pentacles for the Three of Wands. This is energy and effort that you've already put into things. He's standing away from it. He's got his chisel in his hand, his hammer in his hand, but it's like he's already put the energy into it. He's worked hard for something, or you're about to know the direction that you're getting into and you're going to work hella hard for it. The Two of Wands in reverse, we have the King of Cups upright. So the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If this is a decision between two people, you may be going for a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, mainly Scorpio. But this is also an energy of showing compassion to ourselves and to the situation, recognizing it for its faults, its pluses, its minuses, really being all over, understanding all over with it. But here we have the Ace of Cups being thrown out again. This is twice in this reading. The imagery, pouring out the cup, pouring out the cup. Somebody here does not want to go forward. Somebody here is not interested in moving forward with somebody else. That takes a fair amount of compassion towards itself to actually say, hey, listen, this doesn't work for me. Gotta go, and it doesn't have to be so cut and dry, but like sometimes we have to let go. Sometimes we have to be there for ourselves. If the situation that you've been dealing with somebody who's out of sorts, emotionally out of balance, that's not okay. Especially with the King of Swords in reverse, with the King of Cups as well. That's an energy where somebody, in the combination of both, it's an energy where somebody is emotionally devoid. It's somebody who has a very difficult time connecting to their feelings, and so therefore they have a tendency to lash out or neglect or be insensitive and very hurtful sometimes. So, yeah. The Four of Cups, we have Temperance in reverse. So realizing that maintaining a situation here literally causes imbalance, okay? The Two of Pentacles, imbalance. You have imbalance here presenting itself twice. This is no longer feeling attracted to somebody. It's no longer wanting to maintain a situation with somebody because it doesn't feel like it can be solid on an emotional, mental, or stability level. It's just not something that you want to continue to put into. The Temperance card upright talks about what you contribute to a situation, what you contribute to your life. If you're contributing to too much to a situation that has already dragged you down, it's time to pull yourself away from that and go towards what it is that makes sense for you. Okay. Two of Cups in reverse, you have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Well, Nine of Pentacles, this talks about being single. It talks about going on your own, doing your own thing, stabilizing your life the way that you want to do it, making your life your own and being happy about it. It's a fair amount of happiness here. Here, this can talk about being confused in regard to the direction that you want to go in, feeling like somebody feels like they're being left alone and it's too difficult to deal with. I'm going to pull one more card for that. Well, first, let me pull the last. Okay, I'm sorry. There's like a lot of things going on. For the Empress at the bottom of the deck, under here at the bottom of the deck too, you have the Eight of Swords. So this is getting out of your head, getting out of the worry, concern, frustration, confusion, and going towards something that actually stabilizes your life, going towards something that actually feels good for you. Stepping into your power and recognizing that by removing yourself from something that doesn't seem happy anymore, you actually give yourself the opportunity to experience far more than you have. Okay, so show me for the 9 and 2. Two of Cups in reverse with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So you have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords essentially is taking a break. It's sometimes just cutting people out because we recognize it's sometimes feeling like we are having a hard time letting go of somebody because we love them, but we recognize that the bond is dead. So it's like this back and forth yin yang feeling where it's like we're out of balance entirely. Here, this is urging us to take a break. It's urging us to heal, to recognize where we need to have respite and, really honor our time and our experience here for what we've learned and move towards something new. It's changing. The Three of Swords, you see how they're above this person, the Knight. The Three of Swords talks about heartache. It talks about pain, frustration, emotional disconnection. It talks about a lot of things that basically we don't like enduring, but we do. After we've endured something, though, we need a break. We need to take time for ourselves. Underneath him, there is the Ace of Wands. So this is the Ace of Wands, the sword of clarity. I'm sorry, wands. Swords. Did I say wands this whole time? This is swords. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling fine, but it's just like, what is going on with my words? The Ace of Swords here is essentially where we have to get real with ourselves. We have to be honest and genuine and truthful, and we have to sit on that truth. We have to sit with it. We've got to sit upon it. We have to recognize it, absorb it, let it happen. Let it happen, It's okay to let something go. It's okay to let something go. You make room for things that are far greater. Okay, Gemini? So let us go ahead and pull an oracle card and we will be done. For Gemini. It was very quick. You got two cards, Gemini. You got Snow and you have Dusk. Interesting. Elements. A change in elements, a change in seasons. So let's read Snow first. Snow. Silence, gentleness, pause. There is something calming about seeing a fresh, untouched blanket of white powder on the ground. Perhaps it is due to my childlike excitement that's never gone away, but I always have to pause and have a moment of admiration whenever it snows. Unlike rain, a gentle snowfall is silent and lightly brushes your face as the flakes meander down from the sky. Around you, all signs of life are gone. Animals are hibernating. Trees are barren, and people are huddled in their homes and off the streets and roads. It's one of those few moments in life where the world around you is still and quiet. That's what I feel here. It's time to find that stillness. It's time to find that quiet. It's time to quiet the mind, quiet the heart, quiet the energy down. It feels like there's too much. I feel like there's a hardship going on as far as like maybe walking away from something, because we connect as human beings. It's difficult to finally release our emotions and allow things to move forward in a completely different way, but it feels like it's better. By maintaining this, it feels like you would be out of balance. It feels like you would be maintaining something that feels possibly foolish, and you may recognize that as well, whether that be on your part or on the part of the other person. Dusk. Okay, Dusk, the first card of the deck. All right, Dusk. Duality, cycles, beginning. The Dusk card, along with her sister card, Dawn, represents the concept of duality and the cyclical nature of day and night. Dusk is considered the time right before sunset, when darkness descends from the sky and the sun touches the horizon. During this time, nocturnal creatures start to emerge from their sleep. Where I live, bats can be seen flying around, their dark silhouettes standing out against the blazing sky. For this card, I decided to create a picturesque sunset typically seen on the west coast of Hawaii, where I live and frequently visit. Watching the sun set against the ocean gives me a sense of departure as the light leaves these lands for other horizons. Some of you, literally, I feel like you are leaving this land for another horizon. I don't know why Japan came through. It may just be that some of you may just need to go away to different places. Look here. Remember, I believe I said in the beginning something about enjoying yourself in an ocean, in a foreign ocean, or maybe just in water. Something, it's cleansing, it's healing. Here we have the sunset happening over water, over some sort of body of water, maybe an ocean, who knows. I feel that that's also being able to find that stillness, that silence, that quietness. Giving yourself that gift can be immeasurable. So, Gemini, I hope that this reading was helpful. My name is Isel. I'm on YouTube as the Altruistic Mystic. And if you did find it helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to donate, there's a link in the description box below this video. And I will be back in June to do your June reading in a few weeks. All right, take care. Good luck with everything. Bye-bye.